When the FDOT announced the bridge replacement, I got to work immediately on planning for a permitted site that had the attributes that we would need for a project of this size. The I-10 project was about 100,000 tons of concrete. It was 133 barge loads. So we need large areas of seafloor to build these reefs. So we decided to permit an 8 square mile area, almost 9 square mile area. We're now looking at southernmost end of the bridge as it's being deconstructed, and you can see the 2 spans that make up the bridge itself. For them to remove that old bridge from its location is only half of their challenge, and the other half of that challenge is what do they do with those materials. The most cost-effective way for them to remove and get rid of that old bridge was to load those pieces in very large pieces. I mean, they're literally lifting off entire deck span. They're not having to cut that up into pieces. So they lift that entire deck span off and put that on the slide barge. And then they remove the piling cap that sits on and puts that on the barge. And then they cut the pilings off at the seabed and place that on top of the slabs as well. So as they remove the bridge, then the new construction can come behind and build the new bridge. So the rate of new construction is determined in part by the rate of removal. Closer to Pensacola Pass, so it was more accessible to smaller vessels, but far enough offshore and in deep enough water so that the marine life that would inhabit that habitat would be those target species that we as anglers and divers want to see and catch and invite home for dinner. So the site that we chose was southeast of Pensacola Pass, east of the Russian freighter San Pablo, and I knew that it was really good bottom. The seafloor has a lot of organisms that live within it that serve as food for the reef fishes. So you need good quality habitat in an area that has good seafloor food resources for all those fish that you want to attract. It's a common misunderstanding that when you build an artificial reef that you have to have algae growing on the artificial reef and the fish come in and eat the algae, and then you have the oysters and barnacles grow on the reef, and then you have the fish that come in to eat those, and then those in turn attract your larger game fish. Most of your game fish feed upon those biological community inside the sand sediment and up in the plankton. So when you build a reef, it's almost immediately inhabited by snappers and groupers and triggerfishes and amberjacks and all these other fishes. So we planned that area and worked with the Escambia County Marine Advisory Committee to make all these decisions and go through all this decision-making process within, not only within the public, but within the framework of the experience and knowledge of those Marine Advisory Committee members. You like that starboard side?
Yes, sir, starboard would be fine.
All right, well, I'll go ahead and get you a target set up and let you go. Who's on the barge? Who's our barge crew today?
Come on there, PJ. Oh, I got nothing but wind there, brother. Is everybody on the barge understand the rules and regulations?
Yes, sir. It's me and two mechanics.
You got two guys that need to hear it?
Yes.
You copy that, Robert?
Yeah, roger that. Let me know when they're ready.
Go ahead.
All right, well, we're out here under the conditions of our permits from the Army Corps of Engineers and Florida Department of Environmental Protection. They require us to adhere to rules that protect the environment and any protected resources such as threatened and endangered species, marine mammals, sea turtles. We're all responsible for watching out for any of these animals and for preventing any pollutants from going over. If we see a dolphin or a manatee or a sea turtle or anything like that that comes within about 50 to 100 feet of our operations, we got to shut down and wait for the animal to leave on its own volition. We can't do anything to try to frighten it off or anything like that. So we're out here right now watching it. Everything looks good out here.
All right, here we go.